Yeah, started.
Okay, all right. Welcome everybody. Today is the second session. We had one session before to discuss the handover process. Um, last month, which is about a month ago, I mentioned that I'm looking for a successor, somebody who take over the club, and that I would like to be an ordinary member. Um, I've set a date for end of this year to step down and just like and be like everybody else. Okay, so 1 month ago I asked everybody to see if there are people around or if there are any members who would like to run the club and start a renewed Silver Hairs Club. Okay, so that there will be a change. There'll be new happenings, new activities, new ways of running the club. Okay, although we are a very easy to go kind of social club, we're very much on the internet, and but we spend a lot of time also having small little groups here and there, and to uh, to promote our objective, which is for members to find new friends. Now, this has been going on for the last 15 years. We started in 2015, and over the years, especially in the last 5 years, I've wanted to find somebody to replace me so that we will get new ideas to come into the club. So we started that 5 years ago, and we had various committees to run the club. We also had groups of people that that who have offered to run the club. I would say probably there are around about 10 members, but almost all of them had an interest to run the club because of their requirements to have a networking, and almost all of them are in multi-level uh, business. So on that basis, I have decided not to accept the 10 persons. Okay. As for the group, I'm still trying to find way to see whether committees will work or not. But uh, but I decided to change that format. I've already disbanded, closed all the committees, so there are no committees at all in the club right now. Okay, everybody has been disbanded, and we are in the process of looking for somebody to run the club. In the last meeting, there were some suggestions to have a committee, and there were various suggestions. But I'm looking for one single person to lead and organize the Silver Hairs Club in a renewed way, in a new way. Okay. As to what the activities are and how it will be run, I will leave it to the new person. Now, as for time schedule, I gave to the middle of middle of August, which is now, okay, for us to have a second discussion, okay, because I think in the last 5 weeks, many members have already been talking about how to manage the handover process, who are the possible people, but today we have only 2 persons. By the middle of September, I would want this person to surface and be very clear to all members who they are. Okay, and then by end of the year, before the end of this year, I would like to be able to hand over to this particular person. I think we should give ourselves a chance for for members to find somebody new. Okay, or else everybody will, number one, you'll be stuck with me if I carry on. Number two, you will not have new ideas. Okay, we must have a change, and it's only change that will bring the Silver Hairs Club to maybe another direction, or maybe a new direction, or maybe a faster direction. But
New heights.
we need to have a change. Okay, so on this basis, today we will continue our discussion to see whether these 2 persons will come up or not. I will not be able to indicate who the 2 persons are. It's for the 2 persons to come up and show themselves to the club. Okay, and and if the person shows themselves by the middle of September, then what I'll do is I will allow this person to run the club activities until the end of the year. Okay, but these 2 persons must surface first. So far, these 2 persons have said they are interested, but I'm waiting for them to surface so that other members will know who they are. Okay, so well, that's all I have to start the process. Okay, Any quick questions before we start the session proper?
Why do you want to have somebody take over, Terence, other than those things you mentioned?
I think that in every organization we need to have, number one, we need to have change. Okay, we need to look at the possibility of a new direction. Nobody wants a government that will last more than 5 years or 7 years or 8 years. Nobody wants. Okay, currently I'm running it, but I think that it's time that I step down and I become an ordinary member. Okay, and I've been wanting to look for I tried having a committee in the last 5 years. Okay, but now I decided that I want to have one single person to lead the club. Okay, and then I would like to do a proper handover by the end of this year. Okay, and I just want to be like everybody else, like you, like everybody else here. Uh, I don't have other reasons. I think those members who know me well, and there are many club members who have been involved in the SilverHairs Club, know that I want to step down as early as 5 years ago. But I think now I'm already 65. I want to make sure that there is somebody who can run the club.
Mahathir is 94. He wants to start a political party. So how are you compared with him?
No, I think Arthur, maybe allow me the opportunity to have somebody to run the club, because I see that it's only a new club. That give ourselves the opportunity to have somebody to run the club and have a change. The club will always remain. The club will be there. All right. I think our system of running SilverHairs Club is firmly in place. So that will carry on. But we need to have a new person. Okay. Somebody who have an idea. Somebody who may have something that is different. You never know.
Yep. True. But can I have a suggestion that during the interim period from the time you start, say 3 months, you remain as co-driver or co-president or co-chairman, in order for this new person, to get a feel of it, and then because sometimes things are different when you are in it.
Yeah, okay, so, definitely I will still be around, unless...
No, I'm sure you're around, but then you just, I have seen just not to be hit any points, just like things can go haywire, just like, in Malaysia, like Lee Kuan Yew, when he gave Goh Chok Tong, he remained as a senior minister, be around. Unlike Mahathir, he left totally and then things go haywire so fast. Anyway, that is politics. But anyway, whatever it is, yeah. So I think, say you get whoever surfaces out, already know the system, whether he practices the system or not. Just like America, Donald Trump comes in and, what happened?
Yeah, so, I try.
Anyway, okay,
I try not
to. I'm a new member. Sorry, I'm a new member. And is this club officially registered with constitutions and so on, or just Roost Club?
Organization. The club is not a registered organization. Okay. Yeah.
So how would the new person knows what are the system in place and so on and so forth?
I would leave it to the person to decide. Yeah.
Okay, so it's very, very distinct. So anyway, I mean, I after joining, I learned around, and I find that you have been leading very well, and quite dedicated, because this is a problem of leadership, and and the Chinese is saying 上梁不正下梁歪. I mean, it could be in honesty, integrity, or whatever it is. The new person just go chop, and then things go down. I have seen society at the height of it. I'm a member of the China Society. Whether you heard it or not, it was the one of the have you heard of the China Society? It was fantastic in the 60s, 70s when it started, and then 80 and so on decline. But now come back with a new leader. One time it would just exist without functioning, because the committee and president were all just enjoying themselves and the glory and so on and so forth, but not doing anything for society. I experienced this myself. I was a member from day one, and we have very prominent people like Lee Chow Mei, and I forgot, but you know, people the late Dr. Lim Boon Keng, and then
Okay,
Lee Xiao
Arthur.
Mong and all. Anyway,
Okay,
so
Arthur.
this is from
Maybe
my
I just wanted
experience.
to say, Arthur.
Yeah.
Maybe let me just say something. Okay, maybe
Sure.
you're not aware. The club is a social club. Okay, the club has its home in SilverHairsClub.com. Okay, people go there, they update themselves. Now we find new ways of updating our members, either through WhatsApp, either through Facebook, or through other channels. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's how we operate. And once a month at least, people meet up regularly and physically. The club is not a registered club because we don't want to have a constitution at the time when I started the club. Okay, so I will leave it to the new person, and if the new person comes in and thinks that we need to have a constitution, go ahead. But let's have a change. Okay, and I like to hear it from members. Okay, maybe we can hear from other people.
Okay, I agree that change is
Arthur, can we leave it to
life.
other people? Arthur,
Sure.
give others a chance to speak. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this is Lydia Chin. When you, Terence, when you spoke of constitution, can you elaborate what type of constitution that we may be subjected to?
I have if it stays under, well, when I started the club, I have got no idea of a constitution, and I have no intention of having a constitution. But if the members wants to have if the new guy wants to have a constitution and able to convince the members to go and have a constitution, I will leave it to the new person.
I see. Can you give us a specific example of a constitution that such a social club like SHC may be subjected to?
I rather not jump the gun. Let the person decide. Yeah? Let the person lead. And
okay, noted. Thanks.
Jenny here. Even if there's no constitution, Terence, you need to draw up to guide the new leader the ethos of your organization, the club. If it is a social function, you need to actually draw broad strokes. Roughly, what are the areas to be covered?
Okay, Jenny, maybe just a quick answer. As of now, the club is run in the manner that we have. We have EOs, which are volunteers who organize activities for members. Okay, the club, the SilverHairs Club, has got only one objective, and that is to provide a platform, which is the SilverHairsClub.com. This platform is for members, seniors over 45, Singaporeans as well as PRs, to meet and form friends. Okay, it does not have any other objective. As to whether I would draw up any guidelines or not, okay, I would say that the guidelines are unofficially, it's not written down in blood and water as to exactly what they are. Okay, so yes, if the new person wishes to draw that line, fine. If the new person wishes to draw up some guidelines, fine. But I'm looking for the new person, and that person must come up first. Let's give a chance to the members who have been around for the last 15 years, as well as some of those who have been around for 10 years, 5 years, and new members. If you wish to lead the club and you want to give it a change, just speak up and come up and meet the other members. Feel free. Okay, but to answer you, Jenny, where I am concerned, I prefer it to be still as it is today. Okay, it only relies on one objective. Whoever that person is must provide a platform for seniors to meet. Activities are secondary; they are not part of the club's objective. Okay, so that's my thinking. But I hope that the new person may have a change. Okay, so that's why I'm looking for a new person. Yep.
Can I give another suggestion?
Sure. Maybe when you give a suggestion, that suggestion should be known. Whoever is interested will hear what you suggest. Okay, but it is very unlikely I will follow your suggestion until the new person comes out, which means until about 15th of September. But for now, you can give your suggestion. The new person will be able to hear what you say. Okay, go ahead, Jenny.
My suggestion is that because you have developed it so big already, you shouldn't just depend on one person. There must be one chair and one vice chair. In case this chair cannot perform, vice chair can take over. In case this chair collapses, vice chair can take over. So it's not one person. All along we depend on you alone, Terence. You cannot anymore because your organization is too big.
I agree.
Go ahead. Whoever is a CDA, please go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't changed my name. This is Ong. Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, Ong.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we have spoken about this long time ago. Like, you see, for the moment, you have been running it on a very informal basis. And for a switch to go into a very formal setting, a lot will be lost lah. Because if you really establish a club, then you have to register with the Registry of Societies, right? You have a constitution, then you have votings, and you have members to vote. Actually, many clubs don't survive this kind of rigor, you know. Even if it's even in more than just a social club, they don't survive this kind of things because only a few people will drive it. AGMs normally attended by many. I started one before, it's still running. That's interest group type. But AGMs normally attended by very few people. You got to rig the election to get office holders. And every year you have to have accounts. You have to submit to the Registrar of Societies and all that. So, so people who take over need to seriously consider. It's quite a lot of administrative effort. And in end, what means you want to achieve? What is it you want to achieve? You know. So to formalize it requires a big effort and a committee lah. In that way, it's also good in the sense that you will be run by somebody, and then if is led away from the main objective, you can kick the person out. That's a good thing about having a constitution and having something that's formalized. If not, if you hand this over to somebody with a vested interest, in the end, there's no way to kick him out. If he deviate or he promote his own interest, you know. So far, you have been running it, and many people think that you have some vested interest, which I know which you don't. But people who take over, if you offer and just like that, people take over, they may have other interests, not as aligned with yours, and there's no way to remove him. If you short of, I mean, there's no way officially to remove him because there's no structure. So you started it because you got this a passion to get people together. You got to find the same kind of people with the same kind of passion. Then I think it's safe for you to hand over, you know. So giving a short timeline like that of what, end of the month, end of the year, 6 months. So far, you probably have to vet properly who offered you who are the two who offered you and whether they will fit in the role or not. No? Yeah.
Okay,
that's it.
you. Okay. Anybody else? Feel free.
I've attended a few of your group meetings and I see that some of your members are gullible. You don't want somebody to come in with a vested interest, but then it's very difficult for you to protect. So there must be some guidelines where the members can vote that person out if that person is exploiting, because some of your members are seniors and gullible.
Yeah, I agree with Jenny wholeheartedly. There must be guidelines. Terence have to set up some guidelines before he hand over. Quite obvious.
Well, I've set up so many guidelines, but now
But
only one guideline.
no, Terence, there are women's group. I know there's a group. I think it's in the papers. It's a certain group set up, and then you get a subsequent opposition group that will stage. Even if it has a constitution, has got voting procedures and all that set up in the constitution, there are people who also just do a coup d'etat and take over the society, to promote their own interests. So as just now the lady says, it's true that you have people of the older population who may not be very well informed, and you might have people out to take advantage of this, of your members. So it's not just to say that, oh, I want to give it up and then that's it. I think you got to be careful in handing over, and to give yourself a timeline. Say end of the year may not be maybe a rush, to find someone to take over. You actually probably you have to assess properly, lah. I'm sure you are street wise enough to assess the person's intention, and as said before, you still need to have a. You see, if you don't set up if you don't have a constitution, there's no way to officially keep this guy out.
I will watch.
Yeah, if you don't have a constitution, there's no way to enforce it, to kick this guy out or whoever lah.
Okay. All right. Maybe thank you. Maybe we right now have about 42 people participating. We should hear from as many people as possible. Maybe John Cho, would you like to say something, John? John, can you start again?
John, you are muted. Can you unmute yourself? John?
Yeah. No, ours is a gatherings of people to meet socially and not registered. So, and also one thing is that it's free membership. People just come in and go. If it's subjected to paying membership, then maybe people are more serious. They will not just come in easily. So I think in that way, if we don't want to be a registered society or registered with the proper authorities, we just let it be and let it run. And if we think the members are no good, I think the person in charge can just kick them out. We are not registered at all. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Maybe Doreen Chan, do you have some comments, Doreen? Okay, let's move on. Doreen, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, I think there must a leader to run things. I need to have more suggestions from the club so that I can think of a better suggestion. That is what I'm listening. Please pass on.
Okay, thank you very much. What about you, June? June Pei. Okay, June, we will come back to you again. What about Margaret Khoo?
Yes, Terence, thanks for asking. I like your format of the running the club free and easy. We don't want to be constrained by all these restrictions, right? So this is a wonderful club. So there's a concern also of the successor who may have a vested interest or what. That's what our main concern lah. Of course, for you, I know that you want a successor who can do better than you, but it's difficult to come by lah. Thank you.
Okay, what about Dennis, huh?
I have no comment. In fact, this is the first time I'm joining this meeting after all these years being a member.
Okay, thank you
Thank you
very
so much
much.
for listening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. What about Catherine Soon?
I'll pass it on. I'm doing some work now, please.
Okay, what about Laura?
I also pass it on.
Okay, what about Jonathan? Jonathan? Okay, what about James Chan?
Okay.
James, you?
Yeah, I have I have been in the MCST for many years, and as I'm wearing both hats, one as a managing agent and one as owner of a building. But the problem here is that even in managing agent itself, we always find that there are people within the management corporation have their own self-interest, meaning that they suggested that, okay, I want to build an extra add something to the building, whatever it is, and they always have interest. So there are times that are so bad. I remember once at the Pearl Bank, that so much so that there was a quarrel and the police have to call in. So it's best to have I agree, to have a constitution, so that we had the authority to check them out. And recently there was one case where I won't mention the place. It's quite a big place, and the chairman has got interest. So much so the CPIB moved in and came to the office to read all the documents. So
Okay, James, could I ask you to be specific with regards to the Silver Hairs Club?
okay, that's all I have to say, but it's good to have a constitution for the club. That's what I propose.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. What about Catherine Ho?
Pass on. Better pass on.
Okay, what about Stephen Tan?
Hi, Terence. First and foremost, thanks for having this club going. I joined the club because it's an informal setting. It's a platform for free and easy. There's no membership fee. So if we were to have a constitution or have it more regimented, I think it's no longer free and easy. We won't be able to come in and out or come and go or pay subscription fee and all the what we call be guided by all the rules and regulation. You see, all our very informal setting is just like a coffee shop. When you're free, you come in and then contribute your idea or have fun and meet together. Because purely social, but there's no actual activities that we need or we need not participate. Because having a constitution becomes a formal club, and when you manage a formal club, the regulations and the discipline will be totally different. So that's my take.
I agree with you.
Thank you very much. What about Bobby Bob? Okay, let's move on.
Yeah,
okay, Bobby, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I was a bit busy. Yeah, okay, I was thinking, yeah, it's good. Thanks, of course, first of all, thanks, Terence, for organizing. all these years. We are really appreciate all your help. But I think, yeah, as what James who just now mentioned, who if we need a constitution, then it'll be quite rigid lah. But what you've been doing is something like constitution, your rules, So I think it's good enough lah. Things, but of course, I think you may need to have certain rules where we can have the right to remove that new person if he or she is not doing a good job. If he got his own interest, especially nowadays, a lot of them they want to come in just because they want to promote their product or sell their product and this and that. So that's why they want to come in. So I think we need to have that sort of rules. That's what I was thinking. But all along, free and easy, I think it's a good thing. That's how I feel.
Okay, thank you very much, Bobby. What about Dennis? Oh, no, sorry. What about Cheryl? Okay. Okay, what about Jessica? Oh, Barbara?
Pass on, pass.
Okay, what about, did I get a chance to ask Iris?
Terence, you are doing a good job. You actually have some programs for us. But I still think that we should have some constitution also to, like, at least we know that the new person, the one who is taking over, what kind of person after a period of time, we have tested him, whether he's really suitable to carry on the role. And if he is unable to, not suitable, then we can do something, rather than let the club go down the drain. And well, that's my point of view. Thank you.
Okay,
sorry, I'm doing something else.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, Nelly, did I ask you, Nelly?
No, I give it a pass.
Okay.
I can help whatever you want me to do, that's all.
Margaret Khoo, did I ask you?
Yes, Terence, I spoke.
Okay. What about Caroline G?
Hi, Terence. I think I agree with Stephen about status quo. Like, we are actually a social club. No binding, no nothing. We just enjoy, meeting people, having like events, and then we just participate. There's no binding, no rules and regulations. And I'm very comfortable with being status quo. So, well, finally, it's actually, it boils down to what the person who's going to take over, what he wants or she wants. So I respect that. I mean, if they want to have a change, yeah, just go ahead. And if I think I'm comfortable, I'll just go along with it. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Terence, for giving me the chance to speak. Yeah.
Let me see. Did I miss out anybody? Okay, Daniel. What about Daniel Chan? Daniel, are you there somewhere? Okay, we come back to you again. What about Marie? Marie CKE. Marie, your mic is off.
Oh yeah, sorry, the mic is not on. Okay, now I'm on. I just pop in here. Yeah. That's what you're discussing.
Oh, okay. Guess you might need some time to follow up. All right. Okay.
It's
Jessie.
okay. Y'all can carry on. I pick up from there.
Yeah, Jessie Au. All right. No, Catherine, do you want to speak now? Catherine. Okay, then we move on. Sally Tan. Okay, then what I think we'll do is this part of it, which is a free expression on your idea about the next person to take over. Anybody got anything you want to say before we move on to the next? Next.
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, what I've heard about everybody saying this and that, some very informal, some very formal. The main thing I should say we should stick with is Terrence's main objective of this thing. If you said that you're gonna let the handover guy to do it, or say like he can do what it wants, then it doesn't count it as Terrence, Terrence's idea. This is Terrence's idea. Get what I mean? So if you give someone, it becomes someone else's idea. It's no more Terrence SHC. It's ABC SHC. So I still think that Terrence should stay on the board. He can be an ordinary member. He can. He still need whatever constituency. I'm actually, honestly, most of you I noticed are all corporate people. I don't have club. I don't have anything. But what I say is that Terrence needs a helping hand, meaning that he need to delegate his chores or his role, certain roles that he do to certain people. Let's say, for example, I say Mary lah. Just give me. Mary will do events. Another person will do activity. Another one will do another thing. At the end of the day, Terrence is the one who say, yeah, we can go ahead and do this. Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Because if you let another person do, oh, I want to do this, and I hear a lot of people say about MLM, whatever. It's nothing to do with this. Already, no tax, no this, no that. It's already on the board, on his motto. You see. So that's how I feel that you definitely need maybe 3 or 4 people to help you. That's it. And then you can just way back and Chauka.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The purpose of Terrence relinquishing his post is that because he wants to be an ordinary member, enjoy his time with the SilverHair Club members. Why would we want to ask him to actually sort of run the place, delegate this and that? No. It defeats the purpose of him trying to retire from the...
Sorry, it's not delegating. It's loosening his role.
No, but he wants... Yeah, but the thing is he wants to completely let go of the chairmanship. So
okay.
Why...
Let me put it this way. If he completely let it go, then he completely let go SHC. It doesn't exist anymore because SHC is Terrence. That's all I can say.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm one of those pioneers and I understand what he wants. Now, he wants to enjoy the fruit of his labor in that sense that he has set it up. And if he wants to continue enjoying it, but as an ordinary member, why not? I mean, it should be all right, right? It should be perfectly all right. He doesn't have to run the place. If he can find somebody who is suitable and who is capable, then I guess he's entitled
you misunderstand me. I'm not saying that he has to run. It has to be his motto. It has to be his objective. Because if you carry on to do that, that will be another objective. Then the chances of having the current members, say example, now you got 200. If the other person who have his own idea and objective, it could go down or it could increase. We don't know. But then again, everybody think of SHC as Terrence. Terrence the founder. You get what I mean? I'm not saying, of course you need to relax lah, But if somebody, let's say, what set up how you feel?
No. Like I say, he's going to pass it on to somebody he feels is capable enough to run the place. And of course, in the beginning, he has to guide the person and give them
of course. Yeah. Ultimately, he let go lah.
Yes.
Ultimately, he has to let go. Yeah.
So if he can find somebody who can handle, everything like the way he does, and he thinks that the person is good enough to do it, and he wants to let go. So I guess it's a matter of trust that, okay, you have to believe in him, he or she who's going to take over. We have to give them a chance. So,
sorry to interrupt again.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. What I'm trying to say is that he can have a handful of people running the place, and from there, he can narrow down who is the next successor. Because there are certain people that can do multiple tasking. There are certain people that can only do one task at a time. They can't do all. So if this person can multitask like he does, so he's the next person to run. Because if you ask for volunteers and everything, it's going to be a whole cycle again. You're going to jaga this guy, see this guy, this guy or girl, how they work and how they run. It's going to be time consuming. By then, Tyrone say, hello to my IC,
No. I think Terrence must have done his homework I'm sure he just doesn't. It doesn't mean that I put up my hand means I get the job. You know, that in a sense. But I'm sure he does his homework and he has to look at the background of the person, how much he has contributed to SilverHairs Club, how much he can do. And I suppose he will base on that before he actually choose that person, you know, whether he or she to run the club, you know.
Okay. Caroline, Sally.
Yeah.
Okay, I noted your point, but I'd like to give other people the chance to,
Yeah,
to
sure,
speak up.
sure. Yeah,
Okay,
sure,
what about John Howe? John Howe? Okay, John Howe, you're not there. What about Stella Arcola?
Okay, I quite agree with Sally Fu because just now I heard that the new person haven't taken over, people are already starting to kick this person out, kick that person out because of personal reason. You see, that's why I totally agree with Sally Fu. That's why. You see, this is not a political club like PAP or Working Party, kicking this, kicking that. If those that interested, join. Those not interested, just leave. It's a free club, you see. Correct or not? That's why there are so many personal matter in this club, and if you have a group and then this group vote and then kick the person out, that is not fair. This is my opinion, okay? Thanks.
Okay, what about Anan? A-N-A-N. Okay, what about Louis Sia?
Yeah, I agree with Stella. What she says is true also. I think that's the correct point we should all focus on. Instead of arguing this and that, then we, end of the day, we go to nowhere. I think that's all I can say.
Okay, fair enough. Noted. Okay, Sherry Wong. Sherry.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Hello.
hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. I also agree with some points that Sally Fu commented just now. I think my opinion is maybe find someone who is capable in that field. Like, for example, if someone is very good in organizing traveling, then he or she can be the organizer to do all the work. Or someone who is good in gardening, or someone who is very good in dancing or whatever. The person who is very good in that field can be chosen to be the leader. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I agree with Sally Fu's suggestions just now. Yeah, I pass on.
Okay, what about Jasmine? Jasmine? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, basically, I'm not a very pioneer member of SHC, very new, but I personally feel that one of the reasons that I also like this club is free and easy. But being a personal, I may not have the emotional attachment. So what I concern about is the free and easy club is good, but we are not be able to expect someone take over like Terence yourself, who are capable of running, and the members already get used to your style and like it. But what I suggest is perhaps in future, if there's someone have a ulterior motive to make the club go according to their own agenda. Perhaps I personally feel that it is just a suggestion, like some kind of club, but it's not a registered club, that a leader is up there assigning different EO of good in certain sector. And every year maybe it can change. For example, I'm in tourism line, so I'll be the EO for organizing event for people to go for free tour and things like that. And then to give member a chance, maybe there will be a better tourist guide Then the next year come, the new leader will allow new member to apply for this particular role. So in this case, every member are given a chance to run different thing, but the person who take over you will overlook who is the new applicant, to change over the membership of different event. So this is what I personally feel lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, what about Jimmy? Jimmy? Jimmy, are you there? I know you're there. Okay, what about Galaxy S8? Okay, all right. If not, I think what we'll do is we'll move on to the next topic. Now, we have already given 1 month for members to talk about this topic. And okay, I know that right now we have 44 people in this forum, in this discussion. I think what I like to do is I like to ask everybody to share what is the discussion out there, not just from yourself, but from other members who come in contact with you. I think this is important so that we get a general idea of how other members are feeling about this handover process. Okay, anybody can start first. Please go ahead. Take a few minutes.
Okay, Terence, Ong here.
Yeah, go ahead, Ong.
Yeah, I just want to ask you. You said you tried to hand over to a committee before. Then what's your experience? Why is it's difficult? Maybe you can learn from there.
Okay, maybe I'll just summarize it in maybe 3 or 4 points. I think number one, I noticed within SilverHairsClub as well as within committees is that women cannot work with women. That is number one. So if the committee has got a woman head, sorry, head is H-E-A-D, I find that I get more headaches. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I think that our club comprises of, I would say maybe about 70% are females. And there is a general feeling, okay, and it's also my feeling, is that the women in our club are very strong-minded. They're very clear in what they want to do, and they stand by their principles very strongly, and thereby other members, including the males, they tend not to want to fight this trend or this scenario. So that's the number 2 point. Just the last point, the third point that I see is, I think that many members, including potential leaders, they are not able to find the time. I think many Singaporeans are just too busy. There are so many things that happens around us, and it is difficult to be fully committed. So I think whoever is the new person would really have to be able to commit to the time. Okay, so these are the 3 points I have in mind. Ong. Okay, maybe we go back to what I asked. What is the general talk? What is everybody else thinking? I'm trying to get an idea so I can decide what to do before middle of September.
Actually, I have not come across your so-called list of what the job entails. Normally, when you see those advertisements for employers or job, they will give a description, or you should be able to do this, blah blah blah. Okay? But in your case, why don't you put up something, a general outline, what you expect, the person who will take over to run this, or at least contribute to the operation of this HSC, what they expect to be able to do, They got to be knowledgeable in Zoom already, right? Little things like that lah, and then got to learn how to balance women power manpower. And generally that's my view. Then you at least from there people can look at it and then decide, okay, out of all these 10 points I can maybe contribute maybe 3 points, 4 points, and then get together and discuss.
Okay, just quickly to say what you reply to at least what you are saying. A job list. I think that this particular person should have an idea what are the members' interests, okay, and should be able to take from there. As to whether I will sit down and write down what is required, I think I rather not. I let this person come out and then see whether the person can take the job to lead the club or not, because this person obviously must know the club. So as to whether I'll write a list down or not, I don't think I will do it. I would expect this person to know, okay, so that we have a smooth handover. Okay, there is a person here by the name of Twinkle, but I do not know who is Twinkle. Can you please say something, Twinkle? Yes, Twinkle. Okay, we don't have a reply from Twinkle.
Actually,
but
okay, Terence, to follow up what you said, you see, to be able to know HSC, have a sense of it, you got to be participating in most of the events. Okay? Only recently, because of Zoom, that quite a few of us come in regularly, especially the lunch chat. So roughly, the temperaments of the people, the makeup of the population, what the interest is, walk, travel, things like that. Okay, so it takes time. In that sense, it takes time. But you want the person to know HSC, got to be connected, in some way, right? You got to participate in something, be exposed to the general population. Then you have a sense of what is involved. That's what I mean. That's why you put a list. Then from there, then people can adjust accordingly.
Well, okay, I note your point. Okay, anybody got any
I have a suggestion.
Yeah,
Something to add.
go ahead.
You see, Terence, if you have 2 volunteers today, okay, I'm sure you should be able to evaluate the 2 volunteers' qualities. Okay, so there's only two main things, 2 main points I would like to highlight. For this new person to succeed your position, okay, number 1, he or she must be able to connect with people. Okay, has to be impartial, be able to connect people by connect to people like by attending function whatsoever. Try to be on a neutral basis, and of course observe the 4 tables of your club. So we have no qualms whether it's on the constitutional basis whatsoever. We will respect the person whoever comes in to succeed your position. That's my feedback from what I
have very good EQ lah,
Correct. Able to connect with people.
I actually wanted to say what you said, but I wanted to add in. I want to put it very nicely. First of all, Terence, are we looking for a leader and a good leader? What is leadership? Because if we can identify what is leadership, then we get that leader. And leader must be, you can be authoritative, but you cannot be autocratic. That's number 1. In other words, you can think, you can do that. But at the same time, you must be people-orientated. I can see that in this group, so far, I can see quite a number of people. People here are very, very autocratic, very dominant, male and female, very dominant, very self-opinionated. We cannot find and identify another person like you. I have observed you this past months when I'm in this Zoom, and I find that you are very, very tactful, very diplomatic. You absorb everybody's scolding and everything. You do that, and then you form ideas. you are very observant. You keep quiet. I try to even learn from you, you know, but I can't. You know. So we have to identify first of all what is leadership. He or she must have that leadership. She must also be people orientated. She can have one qualities, but she doesn't have the other one. Not only she, he. So you have to have a combination of few people, not one alone, to take over, not only be a successor, but and as I think most people here will say that you got to be the mentor. You can still be the ordinary member, but you got to be the mentor in the sense, the power behind the throne. Otherwise, it will not work. At least for sometimes, because I find these people here, I tell you, are very quarrelsome over small things, very quarrelsome and very self-opinionated. They would not allow you to even give you a second a thought of what you think. They are always right. They are always right. May it be male or female. So we have to have a combination. Okay, if you can have this person, you got to have one who is very people orientated. In other words, that person must be very has PR skill. Even though the person is working or was working, you know, in that so-called field, you can be very high-handed, and I seen it here. I'm very disappointed with whoever. So, okay lah, don't want to say more already.
Okay, I see, Howard, you are online. Howard, can you give your comments, please, Howard?
Oh, can't wait to talk. Okay, Terence. Actually, if you want to terminate or resign from a company, just terminate lah. Why make things so difficult? And then everybody have expectation of a leadership, but they forget something is that this is a FOC clubs, you know.
You cannot pay a CEO or leaders, you know, to do all these things, you know. So basically, it's, there's a lot of demand from the SAC member. They want something must be better than you know, or capable than you know, to lead the club. But not that easy, you know. So stick on to what your simple motto, your simple what you call that value was that it's a networking for a senior member. That's only. It's not that so difficult to start up a constitution. This person must be that role or this member or that. It's such a simple way of me. The two person have volunteered themselves, and then they haven't shown up for this meeting. So I'm also wondering what is their integrity also. Are they shy or are they not keen? That's all. Thank you.
Agree wholeheartedly.
Give me 5.
Hey!
No, Terence, can you all hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Yes.
I missed the first part. I told you that I will come back, but I didn't reply. From the whole sessions, sorry, my English is only primary 3. You understand? I don't understand. You also must take it. Okay. From the whole sessions, I've been hearing for hours, people talking about this person can take over or the person cannot take over, which Terence, I told you 1 week ago. Whether these 2 persons is capable or not capable, you still have to take these 2 persons. If not, who? All these people talk about qualities, who are supposed to do what. So these people come and be the head. If you cannot be, then just shut out the mouth and let these 2 volunteers be and let them try. And I understand from your suggestions just now, you're saying that you will likely get a man. So these 2 volunteers is likely to be 2 men. And then you talk about these 2 men, there's too many aggressive women in SAC. And why we need to care whether they are aggressive or they are complaintive? Because, Terence, you are not a mediator. You are not a father to this club. If the members got problem, can solve it themselves. If not, both get out. Okay? We have a rules that complaintive, if we come and complain to you 3 times, both out. We don't encourage people, a little bit cry, go to Terence, a little bit cry, complain to Terence. We are not encouraging that. Then you say the men are frightened of aggressive men, women. It is not true. Men are more gentlemen. They don't have to argue with women. Okay? And women are very aggressive. Yes, I agree that. Women here talking that people are very aggressive, people are very demanding. Do you ask ourselves, are we one of them? Second thing, today takeover is, Terence is very confirmed that, I think I talked twice, I talked before Sally about you, you actually can be the back end still heading, but without any work, without you can do your own things, your business or what, but someone to just to help you. Secondly, we actually got no say. What are the criteria or the terms and conditions of this leadership must have, or what is the lay down rules that we must have, because we are all adults here, at least we are 45 years old. What rules must we tell you? No need. Be disciplined, not to be quarrelsome, not to be combative. Then this club is very peaceful, and anybody take over will be a success. Because we also don't like Terence to go, but Terence is also aging. We need someone at least to run this club, as Terence says, take 10 years, 20 years. It needs this person to be respected and be recognized by our members here to give their support. Whichever I tell you who takes over, who is capable or not capable, I don't care. As long as HTC is here. This is my stand. Unless you say, okay, nobody want to support the 2 volunteers and you cannot find a successor, I told you the other day, just close down. Simple. Because we didn't pay anything, what we expect? And constitution or not constitution is not important, because if you go to constitution, you've got more problems to settle in law. Are we going to prepare to pay this money to sue someone or what? No. So why so troublesome? And so this is a free club. We enjoy this free club. We come in as a free club because it's a free. If I ask you to pay $100 for a year, will you want to come in? No. And then this club, there's no financial problem. Everybody handles their own money. There's no financial there. For the EOs, we have been EOs for all these years. EOs have been manning a lot of events last time I see, but right now, no. Because when you organize something, there is a lot of complaints. You're discouraging the people. If I am EO for a tour, you don't argue with me, okay? My point is this point, you take it or you don't join it. Simple, no second argument. Because I lead a tour for RC, I lead a tour of myself, non-profitable. I do it out, even I take leave to go bring these seniors to go a day tour. I tell them straight, I'm doing this voluntarily, I sacrifice my time, my leave, my money. So therefore, you don't come and argue with me or ask for any bargain. No. Even you pay for it, you pay for it, your money is not that big. You pay for $100, $35, it's not big. Don't argue for more. So I'm telling the members here, please be happy and appreciative for the EOs to do. If everybody have this attitude, there's no problem for any one of you here to take the handover. I'm sure all of you are more capable to do it. More capable, you are study. I only primary 3 you are study higher. I'm sure you all can take it. I'm sure, very sure.
I
Because
O level only.
no primary 3 only. That's why I speak English. The past tense, present tense, I also don't know. Okay.
Okay. June, I like to give another 2 more persons some opportunity to speak. Anne, and then after that, Holly Lim. Anne, do you have any things to say, Anne?
Yeah, for me, I think what will be will be. I just follow the flow. It would best turn out to be like what earlier, like June has shared. It got to be very specific, for those who are doing the job, and also be committed and also have the interest. Okay, so those things are in line for a successful sort of ongoing activities and so forth. So it has to be very clear whatever out there. It has to be very clear so
Sorry,
that there won't be any issues later on. Yeah, thank you.
my correction, I didn't demand or lay a terms and condition for this person take over. I didn't.
No, not that
Yeah,
at all.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
correct.
Anybody can be a person,
Yes.
two volunteers take over. I support.
Yeah, the person who take over lah. Let's put it that way, right?
Okay, I'd like to
Thank
move
you.
on to Holly Lim. Holly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I support whoever who want to take over. Yeah, my stand is I support whoever who want to take over, but must be committed and run the club well lah. That's all I have to say.
Okay, all right. There's a Christine here. Christine, can you give your comments, Christine? And then followed by Jimmy again. But Christine? Okay, what about Jimmy? All right. I think quickly, Jean, not Jean, June, just to answer your question, you mentioned about that I should ask these two persons. Okay, I do know who these two persons are, but I'm waiting for these two persons to surface themselves to the club members. At this very moment, I'm not too sure whether these two persons have surfaced themselves somewhere, but I'm still waiting for the person. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, as to whether I would ask somebody but you notice that I'm asking for a volunteer. The reason why I do not nominate is because I realized that in the last 15 years, when I nominate somebody, the person comes back to me with terms and conditions.
Yo.
So the person who says that I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that, I'm unable to fulfill those. I'm unable to accept conditions because I leave it to the person. All right. So this person must. That's the reason why I do not nominate. Okay.
Not nominate leh. You see those potential one they have, then you look. I give you a scenario. Sorry to interrupt. I give you a scenario like in the hotel. Like somebody can say I boast for a top bit. In a hotel, each department, the kitchen alone has a lot, but there is only one head chef, that is Eric Teo. Eric Teo, I tell you, Mr. Terrence, he suits you perfectly, but he is not like you to be a GM. So the GM has a few HODs. These are the ones that you see. They have their respective role. And after the HOD, I'm telling you, after this GM step down, the next person will come out. So from there, you can see who are the potential GM. I put it in this layman term, like what Jean said, June said, I'm not highly educated, only Sec 4 only.
One more thing, I'd like to say again, when you become the top management, you not necessarily must hands-on and have a knowledge, but you must be able to handle people. Same as the person who take, sorry, I lay my rules already, but at least able to handle our people here.
Terrence, the other day, Dory also shared, she also said this is your baby. So I just.
True, it's your baby, correct.
Yeah, everybody what she
not
said.
over Terrence babies, it's our, our home already. You know, we Zoom, we see each other, we are like friends already.
Exactly.
We feel pitiful if it dies off, if there's no one that thinks that your thing can succeed or
Yeah, nobody wants to see their home being destroyed, So basically, that's why we are all here.
You built up a loving home already,
yes.
so you must continue.
If you don't know this is the home, we shall jolly well behave ourselves.
Okay, at this point, I want to ask Terrence. Terrence, you say there are 2 volunteers. Okay, may we know whether these 2 volunteers is present right
my question also. Yeah, my question also. Is these 2 people here?
Please raise your hand.
One person is present, the other one is not present.
Then you can forget about the other one already because he's not committed.
would think so. Why is the other person not present? He or she must have a very good reason.
No, he or she has a mind of his own. So no
Do you
point
want
listening
us
to
to
us.
guess?
No, the person who is
Person want to
present
hands up.
here. The
No,
person who
don't
is
guess
present
Just
here.
let the person surface.
I think the person
We
who is
mustn't judge.
present here, the person who is
Huh?
present here must be able to connect with people. That's very important.
I think this person,
This one thing I need to point.
I think these two person must be a male and a female, like just now Jerry. Chairman and vice chairman.
Wow, all of them are the fella kill ke man.
And this person have good IQ, but he must have very, very high EQ, emotional intelligence
I think
to,
Barbara
and
suits
must be,
Barbara suits this
no, must be very committed, the passion, humanity,
Yeah,
passion.
treat people like a human. The way you want to be
Yeah.
respected,
Yeah.
you want people to
We
respect you
want a
the way
Don't go around criticizing people.
I asked God to create this person, okay? I asked God to create this
benevolences.
person.
A leader must have
If not,
benevolences.
Barbara suits this post.
Compassion and to forgive and to accept people.
Oh, we understand already. All
Tanya
this
lah,
person,
tanya lah.
this person,
Okay,
everybody want this one to be a husband also.
No
I
need.
know, Barbara.
I
I know
need a
you're
minute.
referring
I
to
need
who.
a minute.
I know
We
who.
have
Quiet.
we
Time
have
out.
9 minutes more. We have 9 minutes more. I'd like to ask Marlene Yap to give her comments. Marlene, can you give your comments?
This is what a meeting should be all about.
Okay, all right. Since we're not able to hear from Marlene, okay. Anybody got any more comments? I think we'll give a few more minutes.
Terence, I wrote my comments in the chat, Sally. Did you read my comments?
No, sorry.
No time to read comments.
If our sweet home is going down the drain, can you have a cross to take it back and reappoint someone?
Haven't go down the train now. 不要夸张了。
I mean, when the new person take over, is going to
You should give the person more confidence, you know.
No, just have a cross, a cross.
I know.
That
Then Terence must live 100 years, no?
Then he reappoint only reappoint somebody else.
No, I think actually whoever
I think you let Terence talk.
I think we should
Okay.
motivate the person.
Alright.
Motivate the
I
person.
think-
Of
As I
course,
said-
we will support. It's just in case you see, so have a cross.
He even start you all shoot him down already.
Terence is still a member. He's still a member. He's a what you call we got a minister like
Godfather.
senior master. He got senior. He's a senior.
Mentor.
I shall give until September the 16th.
Two-person volunteer, can we cast votes?
And no need to cast lah. One of them kicked out already, never turn up.
No, we cannot cast vote. Okay? Whom are we to cast vote? I already said earlier. If you are not brave enough to volunteer yourself, you don't even want to cast vote on that person. Why? Ask yourself. Then you volunteer yourself. I already say. All of you here have been talking.
June. Okay, I've given until 15th of September for this person to surface. So there's still 1 more month to go. Okay. All
What
right.
happen if after they don't surface?
Yeah,
Then,
let's strike out the bar.
No need to vote already lah.
Who's it back out lah? No need to vote lah.
No need to vote already.
By default, the other guy who's right now here will be
Yes, correct.
Bye bye, sweet home. Bye bye.
Okay, another question. This volunteer, did he voice out just now? He or she?
Walao, you talk so fierce. Who's the person?
No. I just want to, because I need to lang ma. So if this fellow is vocal, then Terence can.
No, the one with the loving photo, the one with the loving photo and the yellow man.
I think he did.
Me wait.
Voice out.
Terence is a man.
This person is
maybe
here, right?
can I hear something from our very wise member, Jonathan? Jonathan?
Oh, Jonathan is
Jonathan.
Wow, my pastor
Yeah, pastor.
牧师在哪里？
Jonathan, can we hear from you, Jonathan?
Jonathan is not inside what?
J.O. don't talk.
Pastor is praying this for the
J.O.
Jonathan, don't tell me you're the one to show surface.
He's praying for peace and harmony.
Praying for peace and harmony for the
Hey,
club.
where is his name? I can't even see.
There, this one or J.O.
All right.
with the mustache.
Hello.
Yeah, J.O. Don't tell me it's
Hello,
the...
June.
Oh.
Can we hold on a
He's
while?
a volunteer. He's praying for peace and harmony.
Ladies,
Yes,
can we
that
hold
is, yeah,
on?
correct. The ladies here very aggressive.
Okay. Ong, do you have anything to say, Ong?
Reflected, I was doing something else.
Ong, can we hear from you, Ong?
No, I was doing something else, so a bit distracted. But I think, having haven't heard everybody, it would seem that it's quite hard to hand over. You continue, then the rest will do. Well, number one, I urge all ladies to not to give you too much trouble, and you can continue to do, and we'll do our best to help you.
Don't worry.
Actually, Terence can easily refuse these people to come to compare you. Because you are now a mediator, you need to be trained, and they have the cert to be a mediator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to have one more last look to see who I forgot to ask for comments. Thomas Go, Jimmy, you didn't. Christine, no.
Louis, yeah.
Yeah, Louis gave his comment. Oh, sorry, I forgot to ask the host for today, which is Jean Lim. Jean, can I hear your comments, Jean?
Okay, I felt that you should not like what CDA say, you should not give yourself deadline like end of September this person must take over or by end of the year. I think what you're doing right now is that it's like what Sally say, you know, you're already appointing EO to do various stuff. So while you're doing that, somebody who is committed like you, who wants to who has that passion like you, will want to come on board by your side, so that given time the person can auto take over, but not immediate take over. You know? It's like under training, you know, and then after that take over.
Gee,
Must
Terence
be trained.
resign. The replacement had to take over. When you resign from company, this resign hand over liao.
No, there's a lot of company when they resign, they actually train the person.
Yes, they train before the end of the day. They
Yeah,
train
because
during the
Terence has
period.
15 years of experience in running Silver Haircut, and he's been doing it so well. So the new person that come in cannot just straight away.
Oh.
Yeah, not that we expect him to be like Terence, but he can pick up along the way some of the, you know, a younger person that eventually can take over the club. I think that would be a better, smoother transition than rather, you know, you just pass it on to somebody to take over.
Sorry, I disagree. There
want to
must
see
be a
new
cut-off line. Because then you keep us thinking, keep us wondering when is the cut-off, and then keep on dragging. Jaron is still behind the scenes, still will be coaching the person, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think he's totally washed off his hand.
Terence, can I have something to say before you close it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, to the potential candidate who may be listening right now, okay? Whatever it is, just to cushion it a little, do not be deterred by our feedback. This is only our general views. Do not be discouraged, okay? As long as you follow what Terence has been doing all these years, I'm sure you're able to garner a lot of our support. So do not be discouraged, okay? This is only a feedback, general discussion.
Yeah,
okay?
don't get frightened here. Too many
Yeah,
women.
correct. Yeah, that's all I need to say.
He's definitely not
The person who volunteered must be a person who really knows himself well. So no worries about that.
not frightened by
confident. Yeah, that's right.
Do not be discouraged.
I really respect this person. It takes a lot of courage to tell Terence I want to take over. A lot of courage, I believe.
True.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for that guy or girl.
Yeah, we will support him.
Wherever the person is,
Don't
you
just
should
think
feel
only,
comfortable now.
he take action, Don't use your mouth, I support, Then sekali back
Yeah, I already say I
support.
support. Who the Tom, Dick, Harry is,
Okay,
is
whoever the person, you tell us now, I will support you. Show up.
Okay, who's the
The
person?
fellow had to volunteer to show his face, what? Then you all kept saying Terence. But actually, honestly speaking, if I open a company, let's say I'm Terence, the company is SHC. I cannot say I just resign and give someone in long so that the company told. So like what Jean said, close. Otherwise, you have to be 幕后人. That's all I can say.
Yeah, he is lah.